In our 78th season, it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame High School Football Radio Game of the Week.
No give up in these guys.
We'll be at Tom Benson Stadium Friday night as the McKinley Bulldogs take on the Hoover Vikings.
Slow start. You guys picked it up in the second quarter. What was the key to turning it around?
Dan, Mark, Kenny, and Denny bring you the Pro Football Hall of Fame Game of the Week following the All Care Stadium show.
We're going to have fun for 4 quarters here tonight.
On 1480 WHBC and Mix 94.1.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight. Pam Cook with you on this Wednesday morning. Expecting a stormy one today, so be ready for that. But I also should remind you that as we head out on this Wednesday morning and you are joining us for Spotlight, you can also do it on Facebook if you'd like, because we are live on Facebook right now and also live on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for 1480 WHBC and you will find us, and we'd love for you to check us out in that manner as well. So glad that you could join us this morning. We're going to have a great conversation this morning about Ascent Audiology and Hearing. Ascent Audiology, and Dr. Kelly Overcasher is with us this morning to tell us all about what she does and what the folks at Ascent do. Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful this morning.
So we have so much to get in this hour. It feels like it might not be enough time to explain to everybody, but let's start off with having you familiarize yourself with our listeners. Just give them an idea, a little bit of background about you.
Sure. I am a lifelong Stark County resident, pretty much family all located here in Stark County. I'm a wife, a mother of 3 children and 3 grandchildren. I live on a farm, and so very, very busy. I got my all of my degrees actually from the University of Akron. Associate's degree in legal assisting, a speech language pathology and audiology degree from a bachelor's degree, and then also a doctorate in audiology from the University of Akron. I did my internship with the Cincinnati VA Medical Center and currently own my own practices in North Canton and also in Hartville.
Yeah. And what made you want to get into this business? I mean, what was the driving force behind all of that for you?
Actually, I was headed in a different direction. I wanted to do biomedical engineering. Sounds very complicated, but that's where I was going. And then found out that I have 2 children with dyslexia. And that, of course, involves a lot of involvement in their education. And so I kind of made a complete turnaround and started studying the speech language pathologies and ended up finding that audiology was more a fit for my personality. So I came back around. I'm working with biomedical, devices. So that's how I ended up where I'm at. And it's a little unusual path.
So tell us about the practice itself, Ascent Audiology, what it is that Ascent does.
We have been in business since 2014. Both offices started in 2014. The pandemic, of course, caused a little bit of disruption, as it did in most other businesses. Everybody had disruption with the pandemic. But I ended up hiring another audiologist. She also has her doctorate in audiology. It's Dr. Megan Annis. So there's 2 of us. So whenever a patient comes into our office, they're going to either see myself or Dr. Annis. We handle everything in the office. That way, then we have a full hands-on approach with everything that's going on. We offer hearing testing, we offer hearing protection, repairs, services, all the pretty much comprehensive practice for adults. We are not primarily anything with children because Akron Children's is not too far up the road and they do an excellent job with children. So we primarily are adults only.
So let's kind of back up just a little bit and talk about, what's been happening with hearing aids and helping people with hearing problems, over the last couple of years, and this legislation that changes things because people are like, oh, I can get this over the counter now. And I don't even know what that means. Explain that a little bit to us.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's the belief that hearing aids are similar to glasses, to cheater glasses. And it doesn't work that way. With vision, when you put a set of glasses on, they're corrected. It's a correctable type of condition. So right in that store, you can put a set of cheater glasses on and know whether they're going to work or not. And there is no adverse effects to it. It's not going to harm you. With hearing loss, it is a disability. It is hearing aids are a rehabilitation device. So what that means is we are taking a damaged system, putting a device on that damaged system and trying to make that system function better. So it isn't like you can take and buy something over the counter, put it on. Well, it is now with the OTC rule, but my concern and a lot of concern with the professionals is that there are going to be people who incur additional hearing loss from the uses of those devices. And the FDA in its regulation did acknowledge that. They did know that there are going to be some people who will incur additional losses from the use of these devices, but they came out and stated that they felt that that was acceptable because of wanting to get more access to devices over the counter.
That's not a choice you really feel like is comfortable for somebody to make, right?
No, it's not for us at all. Although we do acknowledge that there are a lot of people that are not seeking treatment because they believe either, number one, they're too expensive, or we're just out to sell them really expensive devices. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I think that we need to be better at communicating and getting people to really, truly understand that hearing loss is a medical condition. It needs to be treated, and that there are so many more options out there other than, going the OTC route. But if that's the step that we have to take to get people to understand that there is a problem, then okay, that's okay.
I think one of the things that struck me when you and I had a conversation, prior to the show this morning, was the fact that you said, there are people who think they have a hearing loss but don't, and there are people who don't think they have a hearing loss but do, and that's where it could be problematic if you just try to go and buy hearing aids over the counter.
Correct. Yeah. There are statistics show us that a lot of people will not seek any help from us until their hearing loss reaches a moderate to severe difficulty. So they're holding off. And that is not good. There is a condition that is called auditory deprivation, where if you wait too long, the brain makes a decision that I'm going to pull the information or the resources from that particular sense, the hearing sense, and it puts the resources, energy, things like that to other things that might be going on through the body. So what we sometimes have is that patients will come in, they'll get hearing aids, good quality, properly fit hearing aids, and then they still can't hear. And so then they blame the hearing aids when in fact it's very possible that they waited so long that their system just can't handle what's coming at it. It can't interpret it any longer. But yes, we do have some cases, it's not often, but we do have some cases with people coming in and believing that they have this horrible hearing loss. And I test them, and they could very well be in the normal range. But what I find is those people have such phenomenal hearing that any little change, they're so attuned to it, and they think it's traumatic. So that is the fear. We're going to have people that really believe they have a lot of hearing loss when in fact they don't. And then we're going to have them causing more through wearing those devices.
All right. And again, we are talking about Ascent Audiology, locations in North Canton and Hartville. We're going to take our first break right now. When we come back, we'll let the listeners know what the process is, what it would be like if they come to visit Ascent Audiology. And again, we will do that on our Spotlight program on this Wednesday morning, right here on 1480 WHBC.
The All Care TV Game of the Week, just part of WHBC's great coverage of high school football. Hi, I'm Frank Salona. Join me, Coach Elmer Sheets, Derek Philo, and Bob Jeffries each week for all the action.
This weekend's rebroadcast comes to you from Perry as the Panthers welcome in the Louisville Leopards.
For times and channels, check WHBCSports.com. It's the All Care TV Game of the Week.
It's what life sounds like. Do you struggle with your hearing? Visit Ascent Audiology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Overcasher.
And I'm Dr. Megan Annis.
As audiologists, your hearing is our number one concern.
Let us help you enjoy the sounds of life.
With locations in Hartville and North Canton and online at ascentoh.com, we're here for you. Ascent Audiology, 330-494-8348.
What you've heard about probiotics is probably wrong. I eat yogurt, so I don't need to take a probiotic. Probiotics? They don't really work. It's time to learn the truth about probiotics and join the Align Healthy Gut Team Up. Align has probiotics to naturally help relieve occasional bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Try Align probiotics for a month and see how great a healthy gut can feel. Get $2 off your first month of Align at alignprobiotics.com.
MCTV is close to you, our customers. Whether you're sharing an important family moment, working hard from home, or relaxing with a friend, MCTV keeps you close to what's important with our reliable 200 Mbps high-speed internet. MCTV delivers innovative technology backed by superior customer service to help you stay close to the world right from your living room. For more information, visit mctvohio.com. mctvohio.com. MCTV. We go the extra smile.
Hail and wind damage, ice, rain, or snow damage, roofing, insurance claims, siding work. No job is too big or too small. It's Joe and Chris at A&M Total Restoration, proud members of the Better Business Bureau. Call 330-507-6220. That's 507-6220 today. Serving all of Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania. Before you go anywhere else, go local. Visit amtotalrestoration.com.
Crown keeps you warm and we keep you cool.
We're here for you day or night.
Summertime. Long days spent outside in the bright sunshine, picnicking in the park, taking in a doubleheader at the ballpark, maybe even going for a swim at the beach or pool. Except sometimes the best way to enjoy a summer day is from inside your home, while you stay cool and comfortable, thanks to the experts at Crown Heating and Cooling. They have the knowledge and experience to keep your air conditioner running perfectly, day in and day out. If you have an older system or no air conditioner at all, now is the perfect time to call Crown and find out how affordable a new Carrier system can be. You know you can trust Carrier. They're the company that invented air conditioning. A Carrier system is the best way to keep comfortable, both summer and winter, and you'll love the utility savings. Turn to the Carrier experts at Crown Heating and Cooling. At Crown, estimates are always free. Call today and let Crown show you how much you can save when you turn to the Carrier experts at Crown. Call 330-499-4988 or on the web at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling.
Need a car, but you think your hunk of junk isn't worth anything? Think again. Progressive Chevrolet will give you $5,000 for your trade, no matter condition. That's right. $5,000 for any trade guaranteed when you buy any factory certified pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at Progressive Chevrolet in Massillon. Don't spend another winter with your clunker, junker, beater, or rust bucket just because you don't think it's worth anything. Get $5,000 guaranteed. $5,000 can help you get approved, and no other dealer will give you $5,000 for your cruddy car. But Progressive Chevrolet will. guaranteed. Get $5,000 for your trade only at Progressive Chevrolet in Massillon.
One trade per purchase. Offer applies to GM or Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram certified vehicles only. Does not apply to prior transactions and cannot be combined with any other advertised offers. See dealer for details.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power. And your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons. Unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
At Napa, when you take care of your ride, we take care of you. That's why a $25 digital gift card can be yours when you buy 10 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil products at Napa Auto Parts. That's a reward for rewarding your ride and a way to treat yourself after treating your motor. So give your ride the premium motor oil it deserves and get rewarded in return. Offer ends 10/31/22. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. For complete details, visit pennzoil.com/rewards.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. I'm Pam Cook with you on this Wednesday morning. And again, find us live on Facebook right now and also on our YouTube channel. If you would like to do that, we'd love to have you join us that way. And if you miss any of the interview, you can always go back and check out the video later on today. We're talking with Dr. Kelly Overcasher, audiologist with Ascent Audiology. She has two locations, one in North Canton, one in Hartville. And we've been discussing a lot of different things. But Kelly, I wanted to kind of ask you about the ramifications of the over-the-counter rules. You know, I know that makes it different for the consumer, but how does it make it different for you?
Well, our industry has been, for lack of another word, attacked for many, many, many years. So this really is not anything new other than that the government finally did regulate and define over-the-counter devices. So there has been other very well-known manufacturers and companies that have tried to come into the hearing aid space, such as RCA and Bell Labs, Bosch and Lohm. Some of those have tried to come into the hearing aid industry and they failed. And it's because there is, again, the belief that, oh, this is just so simple. Well, it's not simple because we're dealing with the brain, we're dealing with people, we're dealing with their emotions and their thoughts and their, all of those types of things that come in with dealing with patients. And so it isn't just about that piece of plastic and computer in that plastic. It's dealing with patients. And so it is going to cause a disruption. But I think ultimately, maybe this will bring to light that there is so much more that we provide as professionals, the services, the counseling, the other things that patients need that are above and beyond that device.
Yeah, and I think it interesting earlier you mentioned about eyeglasses because, the person is with another person sitting next to them with the same exact problem with their eyes, put those glasses on and it's fixed. But hearing aids are unique to every single patient, right? I mean,
correct.
Everybody feels or hears something differently.
Correct. And every hearing loss is different. So you could, exactly like you said, take someone's hearing aids, although it makes us a little nervous because it could be really high as far as volume, what we refer to as gain. But yeah, it isn't a one size fit all at all. It just isn't.
All right. So say a listener out there says, I would like to go in for a visit and see if in fact I do have an issue. I think I might, I don't know. What's that process like for them?
Well, definitely we are by appointment only because there is just two of us. We don't have any support staff at this point. If at some point, things get really busy, we're going to bring that on. But right now, I kind of like that personal approach. So they will come in, fill out paperwork, of course, like you always do with every medical office. And we do a full case history. So one misperception is during that full appointment, we are making 100 decisions based on what that patient is telling us or what they have written on the paperwork. Then we're trying to decide what works best for them and everything like that. But we do a full case history. We typically do a full evaluation, which means all the frequencies, both air and bone testing. We do a speech and noise test that tells us how the brain functions. Then I usually always demo hearing aids for them, which gives them the idea of what a hearing aid feels like, sounds like, with differences between my voice with them on and on or on and off. We also do, I play noise. Specifically, I'm a Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, so I'll play him and then talk to them. And then, of course, we go over what aid would work best for them and, go from there.
Yeah.
So
comfortable, right?
Yeah, we try to make patients feel very comfortable. We're not the push. I didn't necessarily go into this just to sell hearing aids, although I have to sell hearing aids to stay open. But the main purpose of this is to identify hearing loss and treat it and treat patients appropriately. So with our doctorates, with Dr. Annis and myself both being audiologists, we are under guidelines for good practice standards. And so that requires us to do certain things to make sure that the patient is protected and that they are receiving appropriate care, appropriate amplification for their problem, and then also making appropriate referrals if we see any of the quote unquote red flag rules. And those are medical situations that we have to make referrals if those come up.
So give, if someone would like to know what the locations are, phone numbers where they can contact you, can you give that to them now?
Yes, so our North Canton office is at 6647 Frank Avenue Northwest in North Canton, just down from the Rockneys on Portage, not too far down the road on the right-hand side. The phone number, and this is our main phone number, so this will always ring at both locations, but it is 330-494-8348. And our other location is at 650 South Prospect Avenue, Suite 206 in Hartville. And we are in a big brick building that sits up off the hill right beside Heavenly Ice Cream. So it's kind of dangerous, but that's a good landmark.
All right, so that's the information. And when we come back, we'll talk more about what is happening at Ascent Audiology with Dr. Kelly Overcasher. So much more to get to this morning. Hope that you will stay tuned. You are listening to Spotlight right here on 1480 WHBC.
Summer is time for fun, not worrying about household chores. Call Verndale Water Experts today and sign up for convenient, affordable automatic delivery of Pro's Pick DuraCube softener salt and never run out of softener salt again.
Ferndale's Water.
WHBC AM 10, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, the victim of that shooting in Akron Monday night doing better. The 24-year-old mother is now in stable condition. She was shot by her ex-boyfriend, Jose Castro, who then allegedly took off with the 4-year-old child. He was arrested. The investigation is continuing. Fiona is now a Category 4 hurricane. The National Hurricane Center says Fiona now has maximum winds of 130 miles an hour after it blasted the Turks and Caicos. The hurricane is expected to reach Bermuda by tomorrow. In her wake, power to hundreds of thousands has been knocked out in the Dominican Republic and in Puerto Rico. Nearly 1.7 million residents are still without power. While the FDA is warning people not to try the latest trend on TikTok called sleepy chicken, videos say marinating chicken in NyQuil before cooking can help with cold symptoms, but it can't. According to the FDA, boiled medications can become much more concentrated and potent. The agency says just inhaling the vapors could cause lung damage. The Cleveland Guardians came back to beat the White Sox last night 10-7 in 11 innings. The magic number to win the division is now 9. They play again tonight. 7:35 is the pregame. 8:10 is the first pitch. You'll hear it right here on 1480 WHBC. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Variable cloudiness, a warm day, brief shower or two this morning, breezy this afternoon, a gusty thunderstorm, which could bring some downpours, hail, damaging wind, high 88. Clouds, a heavy thunderstorm this evening, then some late night showers. Thunderstorms could bring some downpours, hail, damaging wind tonight, low 61. Partly sunny, breezy, cooler day tomorrow, the high 63. Partly sunny Friday, the high 62. I'm Steve Williams for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
It's what life sounds like. Do you struggle with your hearing? Visit Ascent Audiology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Overcasher.
And I'm Dr. Megan Annis.
As audiologist, your hearing is our number one concern.
Let us help you enjoy the sounds of life.
With locations in Hartville and North Canton and online at ascentoh.com, we're here for you. Ascent Audiology, 330-494-8348.
From home decoration to home improvement, get everything you need at a fraction of the price at Habitat Restore in Canton. You'll discover new and gently used furniture, appliances, home decor, building materials, and much more in-store and online at restoreeco.org. And when you shop and donate at Restore, you'll help local families build homes with Habitat for Humanity. Habitat Restore in Canton, the store that builds homes.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hurry into the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool energy efficient appliances. You can also use less water with WaterSense bathroom faucets, starting at just $19.98. Plus, find other great energy-saving items throughout the store and check your eligibility for rebates in your area to save even more. Don't miss the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook with you on this Wednesday morning. Again, join us on our Facebook page live right now and also on our YouTube channel. You can go there and just search 1480 WHBC and you will find us. And we are talking this morning with Dr. Kelly Overcasher, audiologist at Ascent Audiology, 2 locations, one in North Canton and one in Hartville. And so let's talk a little bit about price, because I think that when somebody says to you hearing aid or, going down that path, everybody says, oh, I don't know, I can't do that. And that can be a misnomer in some respects.
Exactly. So when Bose came into the market, actually Bose was the one who kind of initiated all of this change. In 2016, Elizabeth Warren actually introduced the legislation to the Reauthorization Act for FDA. They entered the market with their Sound Choice at $849 a pair. So that's where they entered it. Then they have since exited the market in 2022 because they found that they were not meeting their sales goals and their financial goals that they were trying to meet. So Bose started all this, and now they have exited the market and sold off. The price now for those quote unquote hearing aids that they initiated are now up to $895 being sold by a company called Lexus. So a lot of people think that, oh, well, if we regulate them, the price is going to go down. Well, it works the opposite. The regulations require more input into that with marketing and labeling and all kinds of things, and making sure they're testing for those hearing aids to meet that criteria of the regulation. So the price, it goes up. For us, for prescriptive hearing aids, so prescriptive hearing aids, we are involved. There is more regulation now on prescriptive hearing aids than there are on over-the-counter hearing aids. But the price of prescriptive hearing aids can run anywhere from about $3,000 and up to about $6,000 or $7,000, depending upon technology in the instrument and how much services you get. So in our market, what we typically did, what was called a bundled model. So when we had a bundled sale, we sold the hearing aids, we provided all the services, and we included those services for like a 3-year time period. So patients could come in, get their cleans, checks, annual testing, ear cleaning, programmings, pieces, parts, anything that they needed was covered. And that's by a bundled model. To help bring the price down a little bit, we're taking some of those services away and doing what's called a hybrid model, meaning we're selling you the instrument, we're giving you a year of services instead of 3 years of services, but of course the price comes down. Now there are some offices or some providers that are just doing a straight sale of the instrument, and then the patient pays as they go along. So of course that brings the price down some. But I would say a good range for prescriptive hearing aids is running anywhere from $3,000 and then up, depending upon service bundles. I am not seeing anything as far as over-the-counter pricing at this point, but I had seen that there were some over-the-counter that were running in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. So at that point, why not get properly fit prescriptive hearing aids?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to go that route. And like you say, there are ways to bring that price down. I always found it interesting that it was not an insurance situation. And do you think that'll ever change? That you'll get more help from insurance companies with your hearing aid?
There is something in the Medicare Act that they're trying to get Medicare to cover hearing aids. Generally, when you start getting them in Medicare involved, they reduce the amount of reimbursement for the services to the provider, and they take a lot of reimbursements down quite a bit. Okay. But there is something in the works with Medicare. What we're seeing is that they are saying that they're going to cover hearing aids for Medicare recipients if they're severe to profound. Well, we're trying to figure out, what does that mean? Does that mean that that patient is all in the severe to profound range? Does that mean that one or two frequencies are in the severe range? So we're trying to figure that out. I used to kind of be against it. I'll admit it. I was kind of against it. But now I'm thinking, well, maybe this is a better route. If Medicare does cover it, typically insurance companies then follow Medicare guidelines and they start to cover those services. Now, there are some insurances out there that do cover and actually have a benefit from the insurance company for payment toward the fitting of hearing aids. There is a misnomer out there with a lot of these Medicare Advantage plans. You'll see them advertising on the TV constantly, and it just makes me want to pull my hair out. But they always make it seem like there's a benefit. With a lot of those Medicare Advantage plans, it's not a true benefit. It is a discount program. And so what they do is the insurance company contracts with a third-party middleman. The middleman sells you the hearing aid. They contract us to do the fitting and the testing and all the work, and they take the money of the sales of the hearing aids, and we do the work for them. So it is not a great situation, because once they get the money for the sale of the hearing aid, that middleman wipes his hands of it and turns them over to us. And that's when we have to deal with some of the not so happy patients sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, talk a little bit about the importance of the fact that you and your partner are doctors, because that's not always the case when you go to, not necessarily over the counter, maybe, some other businesses, they don't always have a doctor of audiology.
Correct. Our industry actually started in the VA after the World Wars. And basically, it was a lot of the men were coming back from war. They had hearing loss. The mandate was get these gentlemen back into the workforce. So that's how audiology started. During that initial history, the decision was to keep audiology more in the academic arena, and was like, oh, we're not going to sell hearing aids because there could be a conflict of interest, or could it be something ethical where we were not involved in that decision. So that's where some of the hearing aid fitters, hearing aid licensed providers came in. So there are two people that can fit hearing aids now. You have audiology, which originally started with master's degrees and now are required as of 2007 to have doctorates. So you have the doctoral or master degree audiologist, and then you have hearing aid fitters or hearing aid licensed providers. There is a huge difference in education. At the beginning of the program, I said I had I had my bachelor's degree, and then I have my doctoral. Other people have masters, so they still have graduate level degrees. For fitters, they have an 18-month correspondence course that they can take, a minimum of a high school degree, and no communicable diseases. So they can work either under another fitter and learn the process. They are limited to, they can do the testing, they can fit the hearing aids, they can look in people's ears. They are not allowed to do cerumen removal. They're not allowed to do some of the testing that we are allowed to do, but they can still fit hearing aids with a minimal amount of patient interaction prior to fitting those hearing aids. We had to, before graduating, have a 2,000 hour minimum of patient interaction and clinical work. So the difference is huge. Yeah. So at our practice, you're going to have 2 licensed doctors of audiology.
Yeah, I think that's a big difference, obviously, a big difference between you and others, and really sets you apart from others as well, when people maybe are trying to make a decision on where they want to go, and where they want to get in more information from or make a visit to. We're going to take our final break right now. And when we come back, we'll go over, there's still some more things that we need to get to and some other things that we'll recap again, talking Ascent Audiology and hearing with Dr. Kelly Overcasher this morning, right here on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Do you ever feel like the start of a new career is just out of reach because you're not quite sure where to begin? Well, look no further than the Ohio Means Job Centers in Stark and Tuscarawas counties. We currently have open registration for workforce-funded training, which means you could be funded by us to get the training needed to go to an in-demand field. Yes, we will cover the cost. So if you're interested in signing up, you can visit our website at omjwork.com or call us for more information.
It's what life sounds like. Do you struggle with your hearing? Visit Ascent Audiology.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Overcasher.
And I'm Dr. Megan Annis.
As audiologist, your hearing is our #1 concern.
Let us help you enjoy the sounds of life.
With locations in Hartville and North Canton and online at ascentoh.com, we're here for you. Ascent Audiology, 330-494-8348.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Are you ready for a change? Transfer your prescriptions to the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Hi, this is Paul White from the Medicine Center Pharmacies. Are you looking for the personal touch from your pharmacist and pharmacy staff? Do you need home delivery or custom packaging to simplify a complex medication schedule? Look no further than the Medicine Center Pharmacies in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia. Bring in your prescription bottles, and we can transfer your prescriptions to the Medicine Center today, where wellness begins.
We're all busy this time of year. There's back to school, football season, and this little thing around here called harvest. You don't have time to be sick or in the hospital. Did you know that the COVID Delta variant is more contagious than the common cold, and that doctors are seeing more young and healthy unvaccinated people in the hospital? Get informed about vaccines and make the decision that's right for you and the ones you love. Find out more at getvaccineanswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wendy's new French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me. Did you just say Wendy's new French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
If you are newly engaged and starting to plan your wedding, congratulations from Canton Chair Rental. At Canton Chair Rental, we are constantly adding new items to our wedding rental inventory and can provide you with top quality rental equipment for your special day. If you are planning a rustic wedding, we now have square, round, and cocktail farm tables, as well as 6-foot and 8-foot rectangular ones. Choose farm chairs and benches to complete your look, and our whiskey barrel tables and bars to accessorize. For a more formal wedding, we now have 2 patterns of gold flatware to dress up your reception tables. Pair them with gold chargers and elegant gold chivari chairs for a glamorous look. We have also added many new colors and styles of linens, napkins, and table runners for you to choose from. Satin, lace, and velvet tablecloths and table runners can dress up any venue. And for a special seating area for the bride and groom, consider renting our new throne chairs or love seat. Visit our website, cantonchairrental.com, to see all the beautiful wedding items we have available. We can help you make your wedding an event everyone will remember.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/trial. That's ziprecruiter.com/trial. ziprecruiter.com/trial.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And again, our final segment now on the Spotlight on this Wednesday morning. Pam Cook with you. Ascent Audiology. We're talking with Dr. Kelly Overcasher, audiologist and a hometown girl. She's grown up in this area. You know, would you think that Kelly makes a difference to your patients sometimes? I know how that works in this area for people.
Yeah, I agree. Ohio is likes their Ohio people, you know, and so I like to stay involved in the Stark County area. I love it here. You know, we actually are really blessed to live in this area because we have a low cost of living. We've got people that are friendly. Yeah, it's wonderful around here.
So for people who are wondering if they should, you know, make that phone call to come and visit you or, you know, get on the internet and take a look at your website, that kind of thing, what kind of signs or symptoms or things should they be looking out for that maybe is a red flag for them?
Definitely if the TV is louder, I would say that's the biggest one that most patients come in. They go, yeah, the TV's louder. People are, you know, my family members, my kids are complaining that the TV is so loud. Of course, we have spouses that are saying, you're not listening to me, you know, that kind of thing. And I sometimes joke and say that 60% of my job is actually counseling, and I do marriage counseling. Now, I am certainly not certified for that, but believe it or not, sometimes a lot of that stuff comes up. You know, there's a controversy because, oh, he doesn't hear me, he's not paying attention to me, or she just doesn't understand, you know, those kind of things. So by actually them coming in and me showing that, yeah, there is a problem, and here's the problem, here's why, and it sometimes turns the light bulb on. So there are times that I actually leave the booth because I do my testing in a calibrated booth, sound booth. And there are times that I've got the feeling, leave the booth door open. And so I open the booth door, and then as I'm giving words, the family can hear what I'm saying, what that patient is saying, and it's like, oh, that's what's going on, you know? So anyway, that is what sometimes we encounter.
Yeah, and so that's probably, I would imagine that's one of the telltale signs. I've heard so many people say, you know, their spouse is the one who brought it to their attention.
Right. With hearing loss, it happens so slowly. It happens over time. It happens over the course of a lifetime sometimes. And so it's like taking the old style mufflers that we used to have and put on our ears, you know, with the metal thing. And it's like taking those mufflers and just bringing them closer, 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 closer until they're on our ears. Well, once you would take those off, it was like, oh, wow, I can hear again. So hearing loss happens so gradual that the person that has it doesn't even know they have a problem until it's really, really bad. But the people around us are the ones that notice we're not responding appropriately. We're not acting like we heard. I mean, they have the indication way before we do with hearing loss.
So give us again the locations and the address and phone numbers if people want to get in touch with you or how they can get some more information.
Yes, so the North Canton office is located at 6647 Frank Avenue in North Canton, and the Hartville office is located at 650 South Prospect Avenue in Hartville. The main phone number is 330-494-8348, and they can also reach us off of our website. It sends an email, so we respond that way as well. So anyone can get a hold of us through those two methods.
And I think your website is ascentohio.com, correct?
Yep, it's ascentoh.com.
Ascentoh.com. Very, very easy. And I know people have questions and they want to get in touch with you. That's a great way to kind of look around and get an idea. Anything that I forgot that I didn't have a chance to get to this morning that you wanted to mention real quick?
Well, I would say that there are people out there that have tinnitus symptoms. Tinnitus is, and I describe it as a ringing, buzzing, or crickets in your ears. It's basically a sound that they're hearing, they're perceiving, that has no outside sound source. And that actually for us is a sign that there's some hearing loss in the system. Now, it may need treatment, it may not. That is something that we would have to determine and make those decisions, educated decisions as we go along. But there are people that are plagued by tinnitus and they maybe go to their doctor and the doctor says, oh, maybe live with it. There's nothing we can do, you know, that kind of thing. Well, tinnitus can become very severe. And it can actually create some psychological issues. So if you have tinnitus, at least come to us, at least let us determine if there is hearing loss, if we can treat it. There are a lot of times, now not all the time, but there are times where I can put a set of hearing aids on appropriately programmed, and the patient will experience a reduction of the tinnitus right there in the office. And so that sometimes is just a relief for them. So if you have tinnitus, don't necessarily believe that there's nothing that we can do. Give us a chance to try.
Yeah, great information. A lot of great information. Dr. Kelly Overcasher, Ascent Audiology, thank you so much for coming on this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it as well.
All right, and you are listening to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC, another Wednesday morning, and we appreciate you staying tuned in.
It's what life sounds